Sheriff Arriaga, you say he was in this country for, do we believe that he was deported once before and then he
I don't have any information yet on prior deportations. I simply want to focus on the fact that this is a illegal alien with prior criminal activity that should have been reported to ICE. We were prohibited, law enforcement was prohibited because of sanctuary laws, and that led to the encounter with Officer Singh. I'm suggesting that the outcome could have been different if law enforcement wasn't restricted, prohibited, or had their hands tied because of political interference.
Just to clarify, can you clarify that though? So you're saying that he was previously released after a DUI arrest.
Twice.
And had he been deported, this wouldn't have happened?
Potentially. If he wasn't here, then he wouldn't have been driving drunk, and it wouldn't have been reported to Officer Singh, and the encounter, the enforcement stop, potentially never would have occurred. My point is, why are we providing sanctuary for criminals, gang members? It's a conversation we need to have.
Sheriff, we have a brother here who's clearly
distraught,
and yet a brother helped this criminal, alleged criminal. I mean, can we hear from him about how does this make you feel?
No, we're not going to do that.
Well,
Anybody else?
I was going to ask him a question. Maybe you can answer it. How does this affect Trump's agenda in the national scene? Does that please you in any way?
I'm not here to talk about the President of the United States, but I will repeat what I've said before. Border security goes hand in hand with national security, goes hand in hand with public safety, goes hand in hand with the safety of our community. We, law enforcement, need to be able, unrestricted, without political interference, we need to be able to protect our communities. We have a strong relationship in Stanislaus County with a variety of community stakeholders. We're not here to enforce federal immigration law. That's not our job. But law enforcement should be able to turn people over to ICE who are committing crimes, who are gang members, who victimize and exploit others.
I'm curious how the family feels about that.
We're not going to, no, the family's not going to speak.
Two more questions,
Sheriff,
please.
was the suspect armed?
Correct.
In conviction?
I don't know if he was convicted.
Sheriff, was the suspect armed when he was arrested?
No.
Sheriff, real quick, you said yesterday
It's okay,
that you
Tom.
had believed that the suspect was still in the area.
Yes.
Now we're hearing of an arrest in the Bakersfield area.
Correct.
At what time do you believe he tried to flee?
Don't know that for fact, or don't know specifically the chronology or the timeline, but I can tell you that we were never more than a step behind this guy.
Any idea how he was able to get out of your county and down south?
We know how that occurred, but I'm not going to get into that.
And when does he come back to Stanislaus County?
He's on his way back right now.
So he'll be back today?
Yes, sir, he will.
Brought here?
Yes, sir.
Are these other family members on the left?
They are. They're all family members.
How long were you surveilling that house in Bakersfield?
More than 24 hours.
Sheriff, is there any way you can give a bit more detail on the actual gun battle that you mentioned yesterday between the two?
No, wouldn't be appropriate. Remember, we have to absolutely protect the integrity and credibility of this investigation. I can't get into details. We need to be able to deliver a prosecutable case to the district attorney. And despite my position on legislation that does not protect our communities or promote trust, I still have to protect the suspect's right to a fair trial and to due process. So we're not going to violate that.
Sheriff, there are people that have said that this case is being politicized.
Of course it's being politicized. The last thing in the world I want to do is politicize the death of Officer Singh. But let's go back to Ron. An immigrant. Immigrated here lawfully and legally to pursue his American dream. He achieved that goal. And his dream was taken from him. No, we shouldn't politicize it, but we have to have a conversation about restrictive legislation that puts our communities at risk. I'm here to protect the people of Stanislaus County, regardless of who they are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what their party affiliation is, their political preference. It doesn't matter. What matters is that everyone who lives in our community can enjoy a safe, healthy, vibrant, diverse community. It's that simple. I'll take two more and then we're done.
When you see Ron's brother clearly so distraught. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is heartbreaking. I'm heartbroken too. Yes,
Is the department currently seeking out anyone else who may have aided or abetted the suspect?
we're looking at everybody involved, and again, as I told you yesterday, anybody who protects or who provided protection is going to go to jail.
Sure.